shift log, 3:14 in the morning. Ward C, patient inventory count. Single occupant. Room designation unchanged since intake. Under blink count, the attending nurse has written a single word, none. The entry is not flagged as an error. It is initialed and filed like every other night for the past 33 years. The patient entered the system in October of 1991. A regional psychiatric annex, name withheld in the surviving copies, admitted a man following a single vehicle accident on a rural highway. He carried no identification. He carried no visible trauma. The intake physician, a man whose signature has since been redacted, but whose handwriting recurs across the first 4 months of records, wrote the following in his admission note. Pupils fixed and equally reactive to light, respiration normal, no blink reflex present on initial exam, assumed temporary, likely stress-related, re-evaluate in 72 hours. The 72 hours passed. The blink reflex did not return. A second physician was called in, then a third. Within 96 hours, the patient was moved out of general rotation and into a wing that had, until that week, been used for equipment storage. Staff began referring to it as Ward C before it had a name on any door. The transfer paperwork lists the reason for relocation as observation requirements exceeding standard capacity. Nothing further is specified. Nothing further needed to be. It is worth noting what the surrounding paperwork does not say. There is no accident report on file, no highway patrol log, no vehicle registration, no tow record, nothing to confirm that a single vehicle accident occurred at all on the night in question, on any road within the county's jurisdiction. 2 administrative assistants, working 11 years apart, both attempted to locate the original incident report through the state archive. Both requests returned the same result. No record found matching the date, the location, or the admitting physician's case number. The accident is mentioned nowhere except inside the hospital's own intake note, written by a man whose name no longer exists on the page. It is possible the accident never happened. It is possible the patient did not arrive by car at all, and the 7 words describing his admission were written to close a question that someone at the time preferred not to leave open. What survives from the following 3 decades is not a narrative. It is a pile of fragments assembled by people who did their jobs and wrote down what they saw, because that is what the job required. The nursing shift logs run continuously from November of 1991 through the present. 3 notebooks a year, every page accounted for, except for a gap in the summer of 1998 that no one has explained. A single CCTV still survives from an early recording system, time-stamped 4:19 a.m., dated March of 1994. In it, the patient sits upright in the hospital bed, hands flat on the blanket, eyes open, facing the camera. A second still exists from 4 hours later. Same position, same angle, same open eyes. The nurse on duty during that window logged no movement, no repositioning, no assistance required. An ophthalmologist brought in for consult in 1996 examined the corneas and recorded no drying, no discoloration, no expected degeneration consistent with a person who has, by that point, gone 5 years without a documented blink. Her note ends with a sentence that was not part of a diagnosis. The eyes appear to be maintained. I do not know by what. That phrase, maintained, was never explained further in her own notes, but it recurs in the writing of at least 4 other consultants over the following decade, none of whom appear to have read one another's reports. It is as though the word suggested itself independently to anyone who looked closely enough, as though the body in that bed were less a patient than an installation, something kept in working order by a process no instrument in the building was built to detect. One consulting neurologist, brought in during the winter of 2001, requested blood work be sent to an outside laboratory rather than the hospital's own, citing no specific reason. The results came back within the expected biological range for a healthy adult male. No consulting physician after that year requested outside testing again. The file does not explain why the practice stopped. It is possible the answer no longer mattered to anyone still assigned to the case. In 2003, an orderly left a personal audio recorder running in the room overnight, in violation of every policy the facility had. He did not report what he heard until he was leaving the job for unrelated reasons, months later. The recovered tape contains 11 seconds of usable audio. A voice, matched by later analysis to the patient's vocal register, speaks 3 words. It still counts. No vocal cord activity was registered on the monitoring equipment running at the same time. The orderly, when asked why he waited months to disclose the recording, said only that he had convinced himself, night after night, that he had imagined it, and that the tape had sat in a drawer in his apartment for the better part of a year before he could bring himself to listen to it a second time. The file has more entries than this one. Subscribe if you want to keep reading what is inside it. The behavior, once documented long enough, stopped being treated as an incident and started being treated as baseline. The patient has not blinked, has not slept, has not eaten in any observed or measurable capacity, and shows no detectable aging since the intake exam in 1991. Heart rate and respiration remain within normal human range at every check. This is stated in the file without qualification, because by the mid-90s, qualification had stopped serving any purpose. A second pattern emerged alongside the first, and it is the one that changed how the ward was staffed. Personnel assigned to Ward C for extended shifts began reporting an inability to blink normally themselves, a dryness, a delay, a conscious effort required for something the body used to do without instruction. The effect resolved within hours of rotation off the ward. It did not resolve for everyone at the same rate. An internal memo from 1997, written by a since-departed administrator, proposed what it called a rotation model, limiting any one staff member's cumulative lifetime exposure to the ward to a fixed number of hours, tracked cumulatively rather than reset per shift. The proposal was never formally adopted, but informal versions of it persist in the scheduling behavior of the current staff, most of whom have never seen the original memo and could not explain, if asked, why the unofficial cap exists. It has simply always been understood. Institutional memory, in this case, appears to function the way the patient's corneas do, maintained by some mechanism no one working there today put in place themselves. Nurse R. Alderman was assigned to Ward C in the spring of 1994. During a 40-minute shift on the night of April 11th, a colleague observing from the corridor documented 11 consecutive missed blinks from Alderman while she stood at the foot of the patient's bed recording vitals. She was reassigned the following week and did not return to overnight rotation. In a brief exit interview conducted years later, unrelated to her time on the ward, Alderman was asked in passing whether she remembered the assignment. She said she did not remember choosing to stop blinking. She said it had simply stopped feeling necessary while she was in the room, the way a held breath stops feeling necessary once you forget you are holding it. Dr. Elena Pena joined the observation team in 2008, brought in specifically for her background in ocular pathology. Within 4 months, she filed a request for permanent transfer. Her report states that on 3 separate occasions, the patient's eyes appeared to track her movement across the room, turning, holding, adjusting, despite no ocular muscle activity registering on the adjacent monitoring equipment at any point during those intervals. Her transfer was approved without further comment from administration. In a private note attached to her formal request, not intended for the general file, she wrote that she no longer trusted her own perception of time while inside the room, that minutes she believed had passed did not match the timestamps on the monitoring equipment when she checked afterward, sometimes by as much as a quarter of an hour. But the incident that remains unresolved, the one referenced without explanation in every subsequent staffing memo, occurred in October of 2016. 2 orderlies conducting a routine 2 a.m. check found the patient's bed empty. No corridor access had been logged. No alarm had triggered. The room has 1 door and no windows. For 6 minutes, the bed was empty. Then it was not. The patient was found in the exact original position, hands flat, eyes open, as though no time had passed at all. For him. Because after 33 years, that is the only honest way to phrase it. Time appears to be passing differently for whatever is occupying that bed. The patient remains in Ward C today under continuous 24-hour observation rotation. Foundation classification has been withheld from the surviving public adjacent copies of this file. Containment procedures are limited to observation, staff rotation caps of 6 hours or less per shift, and a standing directive that no single staff member may be assigned to the ward for more than 4 consecutive nights. 33 years of data have produced no working theory. Cause undetermined. Nature undetermined. The file simply continues, night after night, entry after entry. The same word written under blink for over 3 decades. None. Until the most recent entry, logged at 3:14 in the morning, the observation monitor, running continuous feed since the last equipment upgrade, recorded a full blink cycle, opening, closing, opening again, for the first time since the intake exam in October of 1991. No malfunction was found in the equipment. No staff member was present to confirm it by eye. The log entry ends there, unsigned, with no note attached explaining what happens next, and no member of the current staff has yet volunteered to be the one who checks.